Hello YouTube, this is Bash, bringing you here for the draft recap of the New York Muse in NPL Minors Season 6. You probably all just came from the draft stream. Well, here's my video here. This was a crazy draft, honestly. As you're gonna probably see, we did actually end up drafting 11 mons, and this was a points draft. You can draft from 9 to 12 Pokemon. we started off with 125 points, and I believe the points ranged from 1 to 18. And also there was a for Z Crystal users. For Z users, there was 25 points for Z users. So say like a 5-point mon, a 10-point mon, and a 10-point mon would work. But like a 6-point mon, 10-point mon, and a 10-point mon wouldn't work because you go over the 25-point limit. So that's that. Just a little nervous, I guess. But we actually are coming in here, and we actually have the 6th pick in the NPL draft, and surprisingly there was some stuff that fell towards me. But before you get into this crazy team here, because we actually did, I counted afterwards, not including the first round, we actually were sniped 17 different times. So we had to, me and some of the boys had to scramble to try to fix our holes in our draft with what was left and what points we had left at the time. So here it is. So with the first pick, we knew some of the stuff was going to fall to me. Like I knew Tapu Koko was not going to fall. I knew Lele and Lando I were not going to fall. Didn't want to use Lele or Lando I, to be honest. Kind of wanted to use Koko, but knew it wasn't going to fall to me. Some other things, I guess, that didn't fall. Lando T didn't fall to me. I believe there was also there was one more. I think it was Mew that didn't fall to me either, which could have been nice also, because Mew is so versatile in this format, and that's so good for teams in this format. But I got one mon that I really wanted to use again, but I was stuck between 2 mons at this point of the draft. 2 Pokemon fell to me at this point, and I didn't know what to do with, which one to go with, I guess. And they were Celesteela and Megalodios. So now, I've used Celesteela in a decent amount of draft leagues now, and I felt pretty comfortable with it. And I only used Megalodios in one draft league at the as of right now. So I decided to go off of Megalodios as my first pick in the NPL Minors draft. We nicknamed it Eon. I went with Megalodios just because it's a lot easier to build around. It's a really good breaker. It has a lot more versatility, I think. Well, Celesteela, I feel like I tend to lead towards just bringing the same Stally set each week. Like Autonomize is good and stuff, but I feel like Celesteela kind of starts to become a point of predictability, and that's where I did not want to go with. Megalodios has a lot more versatility, and it hits so hard. Oh my god, it hits so hard. So that's where I kind of like went off with. And the time I used Megalodios, I think I did really well with it. And with the pair, Torn T was the core, and a couple other mods were part of a core I used in a different league a while back. But end of the first round goes, starts coming back to me, and my good friend Dr. Slack King ends up taking Torn T, and that was a big heart wrencher because I really wanted Megalodios Torn T. I didn't really care much about the rest of the, maybe like 1 or 2 mons, but like I could work with everything. I could work with the rest of them. I really just think I needed Megalodios and Torn T, but we did not actually get Torn T, unfortunately. That's fine. I just had to scramble for that too, as that helped me build my speed tier. That helped with braking with the Z Hurricane that hits so hard. The regenerator is so nice to pivot in and out of things. It's a bug resist for Megalodios. It's a pivot so that we can pivot into Megalodios, because things I want to come in on Torn are like rock and electrics and I guess steels, and they can't really hit Megalodios that hard at all. So like I really kind of liked that that point, and momentum into Megalodios was really what I was trying to get at, because Torn T really forces a lot of switches, and I really wanted that to get into Megalodios, but fortunately we did not get that. But we did get my boy Suicune. Now Suicune is such a good mon, honestly. It's such a really reliable tank, and covering pretty well, decently, what Megalodios is weak for, I guess, with like the ice, I guess. But Megalodios is able to deal with Suicune's answers with electric and grass types that answer Suicune. Do not want to take on Megalodios, because Megalodios could eat those for days. Now Suicune has a lot of different sets, with these sets coming up with the Sub Protect set, with the Calm Mind, the Toxic, the Roar set, and then it can be offensive with like Air Slash, Ice Beam, Scald kind of thing, Surf. It even has Tail as an option as well. So Suicune has a lot of different options. It's really best way of being used as a tank, which is kind of why I drafted it, but kind of also not really. It forces a lot of prep, honestly, towards it, and forcing prep is really good for me, because my opponent then brings some mods that maybe they won't bring Scarfers as much because they're too busy, because they either bring the Scarfer for Megalodios, because Megalodios is base 110 speed, so that's like kind of decently fast, but then they can't hit Suicune as hard, because Suicune is able to take the hits a lot better. So it becomes a dilemma of what they're going to do. They're going to go for the power outage, or are they going to go for the speed? So like, a little problematic there. Also, it forces a lot of taunt users, I guess you could say, but it also forces grass types to come a lot, like grass, electric, forces them to come a lot, and that allows Megalodios to succeed that much more on this team, I think. So that's why I kind of grabbed Suicune. So pick comes around, a couple picks go, and we get sniped probably again. Yeah, I would say again. Zero went already, by the way. We were thinking about Zero also, since we lost our speed. And then there was like things like Thundy Eye just went, and we ended up going with some more bulk, surprisingly, and that is Sylveon. Bella, the Wish Passer. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but 2 of these mods already out of the 3 I actually used in the NPL tryout tournament. Both of them are very good, honestly, defensive good walls, but they also can be really good offensively. Sylveon's a very scary mod, honestly. It did get the nerf with Gen 7 though, with the Pixelate boost, but it's still able to hit pretty hard, honestly. And things like getting like Baton Pass, getting a Cleric as well is really nice for these mods. And Wish passing into them, it's going to be amazing, because now I have a really good way to pivot into Megalodios with Wish and Baton Pass. Stuff like that allows me to get Megalodios in. It also allows me to recover up Suicune if I'm not running a rest set. So like maybe if I'm running a Sub Protect set, or like a Calm Mind set, or offensive set, I could get Sylveon to Wish Pass into Suicune and allow it to get back up to like a decent amount of HP. So that's, I think, is really good for my team. Allows for a lot more bulk and pivoting, so that's really what I want. And it scares out the dragon types that want to try to force out Megalodios. So that's, I would say, is pretty good. It does, Megalodios also forces the poison types that scare Sylveon like really well, because, you know, Megalodius is pretty good at spamming psychic moves, honestly, and just spamming moves in general, and poison types are going to have a difficult time breaking through Megalodios. So, yeah, that's kind of what it does. And I actually ended up grabbing with this next pick because we got sniped again, and that was we got sniped with Crobat. We were actually going to grab Crobat this round, but we got sniped. So we decided to go with another Pokemon. You see the trend coming up right here, but we decided to grab a Pokemon that answers Megalodios pretty well. So it's kind of like grabbing a check for Megalodios, but also in a way is helping me check some of the other mons that I see drafted that could be quite a problem for us. And that is Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck Slim Shady is such a really good mon, honestly, with the ability to, with its Spadef bulk is just absolutely insane. And knockoff pressure is always nice in draft league format because of the way we are able to figure out some items, and that could allow me to figure out what kind of set they actually are for them. So this thing also gives us our first form of priority, I guess. Well, Sylveon technically has quick attack, but and we might actually see that, maybe. We'll see it with the matchups, but Alolan Muck gives us Shadow Sneak, and that's, I think, is pretty good to get some form of priority on the team. So, and also the Pursuit Trap. Pursuit Trapping, like ghost types, could be really nice for Megalodios, as it ghost types offensively pressure Megalodios pretty well. So being able to Pursuit Trap them is absolutely amazing, honestly. And this duel's typing is so good because it means it's only weak to ground types, which Megalodios deals with which Megalodios could switch into pretty easily unless they're a Volt Breaker kind of thing. And Suicune can eat ground types pretty well too, so it's not really that, this typing weakness is not really that much of a big deal for me. And it also helps force out those poison types, because poison types can't really touch this either. There's a lot of different sets I can run with this. I do not want to reveal all of them with this, but there's a lot of cool sets you can run with Alolan Muck. And I think Slim Shady's going to absolutely put in the finest of work this season. So, coming into the next pick, I was going to grab my Electric here, and Thundee went right here. But at the moment, I was really upset about it, but it was either Alolan Muck or Thundee was going to go on that pick. And honestly, when it comes down to it, I'd rather have had Alolan Muck on my team, I think, because Alolan Muck fills a lot more roles, I think. Well, Thundee fills a more offensive breaker role, but like at the same time, I think the Alolan Muck was better for what we're going to have to deal with this season, is what I kind of want to say. So we end up going with our next pick then. We decided to wait on our Electric type, which is fine because it kind of works out at the end, because we're going to get completely mollywopped and we're going to have to move things around in a couple picks, and that's going to force us to that not grabbing Electric type now allows us to fix our draft plan later, so that kind of works out. But we actually decided to grab our first rocker on our team in Donphan. Donphan is such a good, reliable rocker. Zanzibar, who and also is one of our Z Crystal users, meaning I actually have 15 points left for Z Crystal points. But Donphan is a really good, reliable rocker, honestly, with the ability to sturdy also, so it pretty much always gets up rocks unless you have some Mold Breaker mod, or Taunt, or like Magic Bounce / Coach. So Donphan is pretty good with that. It also is another hazard removal. Now I have Megalodios and Donphan for hazard removal, which is very nice, allowing me to not have to force Megalodios to bring Defog every week, even though my team is currently not weak to rocks at all. So Donphan is like, I've used it in the past, don't know if I've used it the best to my abilities, and I kind of hope I do this season. I think it's going to play a lot more crucial role on my team than it has in the past seasons, which may allow me to bring out the full potential of Donphan. It actually hits pretty hard, and its coverage moves are actually insane, so that kind of, the making it a Z Crystal user is actually not even that bad, because like it gets like C-Bomb, Play Rough, Fire Fang, like it gets a lot of coverage moves. It's kind of ridiculous what this thing does. And it hits really hard with EQ, so it gives me my first electric immunity, which is pretty nice, honestly. It gives me another form of priority in Ice Shard, which Ice Shard pressure is always nice in Draft League format, especially with all these quad weak to ice mons like Lando T, Zygarde, all these guys, and Lando I, which is absolutely terrifying by the way. But those get hit pretty hard by Ice Shard, and I think that really helps out with the team, I guess. I wasn't officially at first going to grab Donphan. My plan was to grab Piloswine later for my ground type and Ice Shard user and Stealth Rocker, but at this point I realized I wanted a really good reliable rocker at this, and something that like can offensively pressure things as well. Piloswine can, but like I kind of like it's having the Eviolite is kind of annoying, because then it's like knockoff pressure is kind of annoying for it. So like I wasn't really the biggest fan of it. So that's why I kind of went Donphan. I led more to Donphan. So moving into the next pick, we actually this is a mon that I think pairs amazingly with Mega Latios. It pressures out all the like a lot of the mons that really want to try to stay in a Mega Latios and really try to pressure it like a lot. So, and this is Conk. Conk Kelder is absolutely amazing. This thing puts on so much pressure with like Drain Punch, Mach Punch, like it's unbelievable what this thing can actually do, with, especially with the Assault Vest. It's so difficult to take down, honestly. I think with having Wish Passing into this, it just makes it even that much better, because what happens is Steel Tapes come in at Sylveon, right? But you have the Wish up, but you Baton Pass out into Conk, and just Drain Punch them right into Oblivion. And this also forces a lot of prep, because things like Sneasel, Weavile, T-Tar, Mega T-Tar, like all those mons are like 4 times weak to fighting. They pressure Mega Latios, but they're absolutely terrifying to Conk Counter. Like Conk Counter just rips right through them, and I think that's gonna really scare some opponents into deciding what they kind of want to check more, because Conk is just an absolutely terrifying mon, and it cannot be underestimated. I have used it in the past, and it's just absolutely a monster. So that's why I'm pretty happy I went with Conk Counter. It gives us another form of priority, so now I have 3 picks in a row of priority, which I think is really good, because I feel like in the past draft, some of my drafts didn't have priority, the best forms of priority, but I think with this team we do have a lot better forms of priority, and it's just about to get better. So I feel like in Draft League you're gonna want priority on your team. That way they don't bring Focus Sashes or Salac Berries or any of those funny stuff where you can just take them out with a Mach Punch or Shadow Sneaker or Ice Shard or a Bullet Punches. That brings us into our next mod in Scizor. Scizor is I'm surprised it was still around at this point. 7 picks in, 7th round. Like, man, this thing is still there. And it hits really hard with a Technician boosted Bullet Punch. It hits just like a monster. And it also gives me another hazard removal, so that's 3 hazard removals or movers. So that allows me to bring. It doesn't force me to bring one mod as a hazard removal. Like, it doesn't have to be Donphan each week. It doesn't have to be Scizor. It doesn't have to be Mega Latios each week. So like, that I think allows for a lot more versatility in my prep, and may force some of my opponents to realize, oh, they have some decent hazard removal as well. And not only that, but looking back on the T-Spice is kind of not that good against me, I guess. I have a low muck to eat it up pretty well. And then if you want to give Conquer Guts boost, go ahead. That just makes that thing is so much more terrifying to switch into. So, sorry about that. Scizor is just a beast with U-turn, bullet punch, setup opportunities, and of course, as I said before, U-turn, which is really good to get Megalodios in, get things like Conk in that want to scare out Scizor. Oh boy, that's just terrifying for opponents to deal with the momentum I'm going to get. And in a second, you're going to see I'm going to get more momentum, as I believe in this round I got sniped. Let me see exactly how many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different times in one round I was sniped. So like, oh boy, and this is where not grabbing a electric type is really good, because what happened was I wanted to grab my fast Pokemon, right? This round I should have probably grabbed it when it was Scissor's pick, but I didn't think I could wait any longer on Scizor. I think it was going to get taken, as actually Dr. Slacking was going to try to take it this round. But my goal was to get something pretty fast, base 120 or over, and there was things still around like Aerodactyl, Talonflame, which is what I really wanted to go with. There was Raikou could have been nice for electric type too, for when I was looking at also. Let's see, and there was also Swallow that I was also looking at for speed, and none of them actually fell to me. And there was things like in the other like mons I was thinking about, like that were in my draft plan, like Miltank, because that was a nice reliable rocker too, but none of them actually fell to me. So we threw out the entire draft plan. We just built a whole new one again. As you're gonna see, these last couple of things, just new plan after new plan after new plan, because man, we got sniped so much. But we ended up grabbing this Electric God Mayhem, the Jolteon. Now, this is why I said it was fine that we didn't grab my electric type earlier, because then I wouldn't have had an option for speed, because pretty much what was left for speed I'm pretty sure was like Electrode after this, Excelgor, stuff like that. They don't hit hard enough either, so like, do I really want it? Like, Jolteon is a lot better option, I think. And it hits so hard. I actually early in the draft, before Crobat got sniped and Torn got sniped, I kind of was looking at Circuitry too. That was the initial plan, and then my speed tiers went down to the gutters, and I had to forego Circuitry for Jolteon, which is perfectly fine. Jolteon is a very good mod. Gives me a lot better, gives me a better option for volt switching, because it's able to. It doesn't have to be scarfed all the time with Circuitry. Circuitry, I feel like, is forced to be scarfed, or like Z move or something like that. Jolteon can be a lot more versatile because of that speed, and can add a lot more bulk into it because of this. Because I don't have to run as much speed as I need to outspeed some of my opponent's mons. So I really think that that really adds to my team, because now if you look at my team, I have some decent like Volt Turn kind of going right here, with like Scizor and Jolteon, just such an insane Volt Turn core, and it gives me another electric immunity, which really helps out Suicune in the long run, because now electric types do not have a good matchup against me really at all, honestly, unless you maybe like, I guess, Tapu Koko. But I have ways to deal with Tapu Koko, so I really think Jolteon really kind of helped out our team here with the ability of Volt switching out and stuff like that. Then, so with grabbing Jolteon, I kind of wanted a wall breaking Pokemon because I felt like I do have wall breakers. Yeah, I do. But I also wanted a good Z Crystal user. And at the moment, Donphan's a good Z Crystal user. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's pretty decent. But there wasn't really... Zergochi was going to be my other Z Crystal user. And that was going to be really good, I think, Z user. But we didn't actually get that. And as we all know. So, like... We decided to go with this mon. I did not have my fire type yet at this moment of the draft. So, like... I probably could have waited on this one more round because I'm gonna get sniped with the mon that I was built for this. Because Donphan wasn't actually gonna be initially my Z Crystal user. This mon, it was gonna be this next mon, Archeops and Lilligant were gonna be my last 3 Z Crystal users. And of course that's not gonna happen. So. But we did actually get this next one, and that is Blacephalon, who's absolutely a warhead, and just like the nickname says, that thing hits so hard, especially if I want to run Z Mind Blown. Oh my god, if you're not a resist, you are not going to take this well. So Blacephalon, I think, adds a little more decent speed to my team. That adds a lot more wall breaking potential because now steel types are very scared of Blacephalon now. Both of my Z Crystal users pressure out those steel types. I think that a lot of Blacephalon forces a lot more scarfs, and it gets a team with what I have. With so much bulk on my team, it really takes the power outage, and it's really difficult to break my team if you're going to be running a Scarf to try to beat Blacephalon. Because if you're trying to run a Scarf to beat, you're not going to run. If you're running a Scarf to try to beat Blacephalon, then you're not running Life Orb. You're not running Specs. Any of the boosting item. You're not running Setup. That just makes it a lot better for some of my other mods like Suicune, Sylveon, Aloma, Donphan, Mega Latios, and Conk, and Scizor. Like, it makes it a lot better for them if it's gonna force Scarfs. So in the end, Blacephalon, I think, kind of works out. It's actually a nuke, and it's also a spin blocker, which is kind of nice. Don't have much hazards, but it's fine with what we're building around. So Blacephalon is just God, oh my god. Never used it before, so this is a very new experience for me, and I hope I'm able to use it really well. It has a really cool design too, honestly, but hopefully I can use it well. I didn't really realize that its attack stat is also pretty high with 127 at base attack. So like, you may be seeing next Blacephalon, we'll see. But this thing is just a monster. So comes around, and Archeops is gone, and my boy Dr. Slacking takes it again. Man, that was rough. But we're gonna just rebuild from it again, and these next 2 picks and final picks took me a really long time with my squad with what I'm gonna try to build with. But with ideas like Claydol, we went with like the ideas with Tangela. We did think of keeping Lilligant on the team. There was also talk of, I believe it was, let me look back at the DMs because there was a lot of different talk. My friend Splurge said the Vanny Carbank. I was like, no. Or Rampardos. Leone was not that bad, but I thought it was kind of overpriced. There was also talks of a Alolan Duck Trio, Tangela, a Bombasnow, things like that. Let's see what else were there. Let's see. believe there was also sorry about that. Hold on for a second. So there was also, I think I was talking about Dancy as well. So sorry about that. But none of them really kind of stood out to me. I kind of wanted another reliable rocker on my team, and I feel like some of them weren't really reliable rockers. In the fact, I kind of wanted a flying type on my team for the last 2 picks, which would have been perfect for Archeops, but we decided to go a different route. And we actually are bringing back Dwayne Johnson, the Reggie Rock. Let's go. Reggie Rock is absolutely a monster. Such an insane defensive wall. It does have like a lot of weaknesses, I know that, but it also gives me a bird switch in, which I didn't really have at the moment. With Jolteon really being the only resist on my team, and Jolteon doesn't have that much good physical defense, so like Reggie Rock adds a lot more for that. So now I have a good Brave Bird, Hurricane switch in kind of thing. And Reggie Rock is a good reliable rock setter as well. Also having the ability sturdy and clear body, so that's really nice for a Reggie Rock. This thing does what it does best. It can curse up, it can toxic, it can drain punch, stone edge, this AV kind of thing. There's a lot of decent sets about this. And I remember I used it for I believe, was it season 4? UPC season 4. I didn't use it as much as I wanted to, but I think in this league it's gonna be a lot more. I'm gonna be able to use it a lot more than I was in other league, because of the fact that the other one was an Uber's league. This is not, so I feel like this is gonna come a lot more. And I feel like this thing also gets countered, by the way, so that's absolutely scary for opponents to kind of prep for. But Reggie Rock is just a monster in an excellent wall, and getting Wish passing off into it is just even better. So like that adds a lot more prep into breaking things down on my team, and that makes things a lot more difficult for them. So that brings me to my last mon. So I ended up grabbing a flying type. Kind of wanted a flying type. It kind of does give me removal too, and it gives me another way to deal with ghost types. Because Alolan Muck currently was my best way to deal with ghost types, which, by the way, Alolan Muck is a monster dealing with ghost types anyway. But I wanted another way, and that's going to be a Volibee. That's my last pick of the draft. 3 points. There wasn't much left at 3 points. As I said before, I was considering Abomasnow and all that, but we went with Volibee. Volibee, never used it before. Have seen it used before, but it's very unique. It's more of a Little Cup mon, but I think Buzzkill could be a great mon in this format, and it really could surprise people. So this thing is a very good defensive wall, I think. With EVLA, it gets boosted to insane amounts. It gets Defog, gets Roost, gets a momentum in U-turn, so that's another momentum mon for us. And gets knockoff, gets foul play, gets all these really good utility options too, that allow me to be able to use this mon. Allows my team to be that much more scarier as getting like Tailwind up or like a taunt or something like that, so that some of my other mods can excel in their position. Because imagine getting a Tailwind up with Bucephalon. Oh my god. You run like a Choice Specs Bucephalon. Whew. Jeez, that's not going to feel nice on any team. So, that's the team. As of the recording, I do not know the week 1 matchup, but whoever we're going to play, we're going to try to smack them. We are ready for this season. New York Moves are here. We are now. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm gonna leave a couple links in the below of my kind of like the main front office I have of Crypto, Sketch, and Splurge, and then I'm also gonna leave a description in the description. This thing where the link to the NPL fan server, where you could put in the roll call section .I am New York Mew, and you could join and support me as we make our journey through the NPL miners, hopefully picking out a bunch of dubs. Thank you for watching, as I said before, and bash